Somewhere, in a dark cave, a sound is echoing everywhere, a sound of someone shouting the chief is dead. And it's goblins. The chief of the goblins has died, and the tribe is happy about it, because there is no one now to stop them from getting the chief's belongings. And some are ready to become the new chief. Fight breaks out among those small goblins. They all want to be the new chief, and there is more to that. Now the chief is dead. They can have fun with some prey that their late chief left untouched. This prey is a woman that their chief has kidnapped. However, there is a guy who is guarding that prey, and just thinking about him is sending a shiver down their spine. The guy they are talking about comes back from his hunting. They curse him and make fun of him for wearing clothes like humans, and only he knows where the prey is kept. And the other goblins are sure that he is going to keep that prey for himself. That's why they get ready to follow him and get that prey for themselves. The goblins then remember that some of the strong guys have already gone to search for that prey. They get ready to wait and see, and after that take action. Let the strong guys fight and kill themselves, and then they will enjoy that prey. The goblin in the robe, he is our MC of this manhua. He hears those goblins, so he hurried to the place where the prey is kept. The woman is asking for help. He arrives to that place, and the strong goblins are about to get freaky with that woman. Then they stopped after seeing our MC there. They have already grabbed her down. She begs him to save her from those goblins, asking a goblin to help her from other goblins. Anyways, he is the MC of this story, so he asks the other goblins to let her go. The other goblins gets ready to take care of our MC and get that prey for themselves. Now the chief is dead, and this one here is the strongest one of all. He gets ready to make that prey his, and anyone gets in his way dies. They all jumps at our MC to take care of him, and after that, they will take care of that lady. Because they are 4 of them, it gets difficult for the good guy to fight with them. They starts to rip his clothes, bites his limbs, tries to rip them up. Our MC, who doesn't want to die like this, in the hands of goblins. He takes out his weapon and finishes the big guy with it. He gets ready to finish them all if they don't leave from there. Since he has a weapon and even take out their boss, they all run for their life from there. The lady helps him up because he seems to have suffered some injuries. She thanks him for saving her from those goblins, who almost made her mommy. And seeing him protecting her like that, she is sure that he is different than other goblins. And yes, he is a different kind of goblin because he has a system. I wish to have a system for myself too. And he was once a human. It was Truck-kun who sent him to this fantasy world. And he also got a game-like system after coming to this new world. Although he has a system, it hasn't fully activated. He gained his conscious in a cave, where the chief was doing the do thing with his prey. He's been only seeing those stats, and there is nothing else in his system. And from this lady prey, he gained some understanding of this new world, and that this world that God created has many powerful monsters, and humans somehow have curved their place on that continent with their strength. But he reincarnated as the weakest and most filthy monster of that world, Goblin. His stats are really low among goblins, but he has weapon, so he is somehow powerful than other goblins. His name is Lin Chan. Race, Goblin, God's Blessing. Level 5, Class None, HP 20. Strength 5, Defense 5. Racial skill, Gene Devour. Equipment, rough stone knife. Overall combat power 30. However, there is a way for him to get stronger, and that is to mate with girls. Who wants to have this skill, huh? Get stronger by mating. These goblins have this ability to get stronger through constant mating and reproduction. However, they have no females with them. That's why they kidnap other races' females and do the do thing with them. They have even got a pig with them. However, Lin Chan doesn't want to do such things because he was a human and a sore loser. Bro, you are a monster now, a goblin at that. Live like one or you'll die soon. Seeing him down like that, the lady tells him not to worry, and now that she knows that he is different from other goblins, she gets ready to tell the Night Order, who will come there to rescue her, that he is a good goblin, who protected her from other. And since the Night Order is always fair and just, she is sure that they will agree to let him live in the village. He also gets ready to go along with that, because his system is still not yet fully activated, and if he managed to live in the village, he gets ready to slowly figure out how to activate his system. Then they hear some sound coming from outside the cave. Thinking that it's those goblins again, he tells the lady to quickly hide herself. One goblin comes toward them, because humans have come there and he wants to mate to become stronger, so that he won't get killed. Lin Chan is surprised to hear that the humans have come there. But first, he gets ready to take care of the goblin in front of him. He finishes that goblin by slashing its neck with his weapon, and informs the lady about the humans who have come to rescue her. The lady is happy that the Holy Order actually came to rescue her. She and Lin Chan gets ready to go and meet with the knights who have come to rescue her. A knight is killing those goblins with his fancy sword moves. Lin Chan is shocked to see that holy knight, who is disgusted by those filthy goblins who tore his Holy Order uniform. And Lin Chan is shocked because this knight, whose name is Loader, is level 25. He also has some skills, and his overall combat power is 400. This is Lin Tian's first time seeing such a high stats, and it's a human. The lady comes to Loader. She is happy to see the Knight Commander personally coming to save her. But Lin Tian notices something different about that Loader guy. Loader gets ready to strike that lady with his sword, but Lin Tian manages to save her again from her own kind, humans. Lin Tian is shocked and confused about what is going on there. They came there to rescue her, but they are attacking her. He wonders if it's because the cave is too dark and Loader mistook her for a goblin. But that was not the case, and Loader is surprised to see a lowly goblin actually manage to dodge his attack. The lady, her name is Kelia. She informs Loader that it's her, and he also knows that she is Kelia. He attacked her because she has been defiled by the goblins, and might even be carrying a goblin's spawn. And in his eyes, she is now a filthy thing like those goblins. So he gets ready to send her to the Great Holy Mother to repent her sins. She falls to his knees, informs him that even though she was captured, but she wasn't defiled by any goblins, because the goblin next to her protected her from all those goblins. Loader gets more angry because the story she made up is just too unbelievable. No goblin will let a prey like her go untouched, so he gets ready to clean her and make her pure again. Lin Tian once again saves her, and informs her about the exit to escape from there, and he himself gets ready to fight with Loader, who is 20 level higher than him. But then a golden shield saved him from Loader's attack. It's a beautiful lady with very less clothes. She is definitely a holy maiden or a saint. She stopped Loader because she noticed that Lin Tian is different than other goblins. Turns out, she is a holy maiden. Kelia begs her to save her from Loader. Since she is a holy maiden, she gets ready to help that poor child, and throws her back to Loader again, because she seems to be more interested in the goblin, who can understand her words. Lin Tian have also heard about this holy maiden from Kelia, the spokesperson of the temple. With her help, he is sure that he can leave from there. So he informs her about everything, down to every detail, that he was a human and because of some accident he got reincarnated as a goblin. They notices that he is smarter than other goblins, who are usually stupid and lowly creatures. Holy Maiden thinks that he must be a gift from Holy Mother. To make sure, she once again confirms from Kelia if that goblin really not hurt her. Kelia informs her about everything. She gets ready to take Lin Tian with them and study him thoroughly before making any decision on what to do with him. She asks Lin Tian if he likes to come with them. He always wanted to leave that cave and go to Human City because he was a goblin, so he never did that. He gets ready to go with them. Now that they have cleared the misunderstanding, they get ready to leave from there. Lin Tian thanks the Holy Maiden for her kindness. He even gets ready to repay her properly. Then her expression changes. After that, Loader stabs Kelia with her sword. Lin Tian is shocked by this new outcome. Holy Maiden was supposed to be a good person, but now Kelia is dead. And that same Holy Maiden is now laughing devilishly, informing Lin Tian to repay her well for her kindness. 1 week later, in a certain town, where the Holy Order has its base, Loader have called the town people to the town center to inform them about what happened with the goblin extermination. He informs everyone that the goblins that used despicable sneak attacks to slaughter 30 residents of the Bright Town. The Holy Order, on behalf of the temple, has purged those goblins and avenged the people of that town. And among those people, there is Kelia's picture too. The beautiful Holy Maiden comes in front showing the people her beautiful body, informing them to continue to pray devoutly to the temple, because the temple will always protect her devout followers. After that, she comes to her room and is happy to see those people who will now pray even more devoutly and offer more tributes. Someone calls her from behind with a very weak voice, and it's none other than Lin Tian, who now doesn't have one eye, and there are holes in his head. Half of his hairs are gone. She has hanged him on a wall, just next to her sitting table. I think she is an ass, and she is surprised to see that he is still alive, even after she did all kinds of experiments on him. This time, she gets ready to use poison on him and see what will happen to him. He screams in agony for believing that witch, and she deceived him, deceived everyone, and killed Kelia. The so-called Holy Order of Justice is nothing but a big lie. For screaming out loud, Holy Maiden stabs him with a wooden stick in his mouth. And now she is mad because a weak and trashy creature like him, a lustful goblin, dares to question her holy order. And who will not get lustful after seeing those melons hanging like that in front of your eyes? Anyways, she informs him that she killed Kelia because Kelia was bewitched by him, and that he should be grateful because the Holy Maiden is speaking to him, a goblin, who is considered as vermin in the continent. She gets ready to do more experiments on him. Some kind of magic circle forms around him, giving him some intense pain. It's so painful, he starts to get scared, thinking he is going to die again. He remembers the time when he was captured, but it was his own fault. He was too foolish to hold on to human compassion, even though he got reincarnated as Goblin, just because he was a human from Earth before. He thought, the humans in this new world are also righteous and kind, That was his weakness and his deadliest mistake. And after he was captured and brought to the human village, Loder and Holy Maiden, Ifraya, tortured and toyed with him in every possible way. The torture was so painful that it made him realize that humans can be worse than monsters. Every second, he prays that if only he could do it again, he would never trust humans again. If he could do it again, he would definitely grind their bones and drain their blood. When he opens his eyes, he is surprised to see that he is still alive. He seems to be in his spirit form and is confused about the place that he is in. The system notifies him that the Goblin life stimulation system has been activated. Evaluation complete. You are dead. Due to your foolishness, you forgot you were a goblin. Humans will never trust goblins, nor will they pity goblins. You died after being tortured and tormented. The pain of this week's torture is imprinted on your soul. You will never forget the pain humans brought you. Your end is one of the worst fates for any transmigrator, restarting and opening a new life. Do you want to start over? He is surprised to see that his system has finally activated after his death, and it can bring him back to life, but he will still be reborn as the weak goblin. He asks the system about what do yes and no represent. The system gives him another detail, that if he chooses no, his soul will dissipate and he will die completely. But if he chooses yes, he will retain his current memory and system and be sent back to the Goblin Cave a week ago. He is happy to know that he can go back with his memory intact. This is his chance for his revenge. He gets ready to get his revenge on Loder and Ifraya this time. So he clicks the yes button. After clicking that button, his Goblin Life 2.0 begins. And to help him survive a bit longer, the system slightly strengthens him. He respawns in the Goblin Cave, but this time, he is a little stronger than he was before. The system warns him that the Holy Order is coming there to exterminate the Goblin. So if he dies this time, he will not revive and die for real. Now he is in trouble, because there is Loder, who is super strong. So he asks the system what he can do here. The system notifies him that the system is called the Goblin Life Simulation System, and the host can simulate his life with this system to foresee future events. Please note, every choice the host makes will lead to different outcomes. Each simulation requires 24 hours after the simulation ends. You will earn points, which can be exchanged for items. Now this is going to be fun. He can see the future. He gets ready to start the life simulation right away. The system shows him another window. The current scenario, escape the Goblin Cave. The Goblin Cave you are in has been discovered by the Holy Knight Loder. To escape from the Holy Knight Loder, you need to make the following choices. Option 1 is to warn fellow goblins and unite to face Loder and his men. 10 points. Option 2 is to abandon other goblins and escape. 5 points. And option 3 is to hide in the cave and pray Loder and his men don't find you. 0 points. There is no way he can go with option 1, because even with all the goblins fight Loder together, he will kill them all. Anyways, he chooses option 1. He wants to simulate the first choice so he can get some points and exchange it for some weapon. The simulation shows him that even with all those goblins, they died. So he earned 10 points from it. Now that he has got some points, he gets ready to look for some weapons. But all the weapons are very costly, and he only has 10 points with him right now. But luckily, there is a weapon he can buy with 10 points. A small dagger, elven lightweight swift blade. It will increase his speed by 10%, and strength by 15%, and it's crafted by elves. After buying that dagger, his speed and strength increases. Then he remembers something, Kelia, she is not there, and asks the system about Kelia. The system notifies him that due to his rebirth, some timeline details have changed in the current timeline. That's why Kelia was not captured by goblins and continues to live happily in the village. Lin Tian is surprised to hear that. At the same time, he is happy that she is safe, and that he has fulfilled his promise to Kelia. Now there is nothing to hold him back. He gets ready to escape from there. There are 2 guards guarding the entrance outside, ready to handle any goblins that comes out from there. Lin Tian has also arrived there, and those guards are saying that if any goblins comes out from there, they are definitely some trash one who run away from Commander Loder, so they can take care of them easily. They also get ready to kill any woman that comes out of that cave. This angers Lin Tian more, because those guys are thinking of killing their own kind, and he was so foolish to believe that they would let him live. He, a goblin. Lin Tian makes some sound just like a sound of a girl asking for help, to make those guards let their guard down. Thinking that it's just a weak woman, the guards gets ready to take care of her, tells her not to worry and that they are from the knights. Next thing, the guard finds out his neck has been pierced by a dagger. Surprise mother-father. This time, he is acting like a goblin, and definitely going to survive. The other guard is confused to see his friend just standing there like that, so he gets ready to check what is going on with his friend. Seizing this chance, Lin Tian charges forward at that other guy. The other guy couldn't react to Lin Tian's attack, who is jumping at him with his small dagger. Lin Tian slashes that guy with his dagger. The guard is shocked to see a goblin speaking human language and fooling them. He falls on his knees and begs Lin Tian to spare his life. He even shows his wife and daughter's picture, thinking that Lin Tian will spare him after seeing that. The guard even gets ready to give Lin Tian some bags of gold coins and bring him some fresh and juicy human girls if he spares him. Thinking that Lin Tian is now distracted by his offer, he takes out his knife and jumps at Lin Tian. Next thing he finds out, his head is flying in the air. Then a loud noise comes out from the cave. Lin Tian notices that it is Loder's voice, and seems like he has finished those goblins in the cave and is coming outside. He takes the clothes of the guard he just killed, and gets ready to leave from there, before Loder and Nifraya comes there, but promises that he will get his revenge on them for sure. Loder and Nifraya comes there, and Loder is surprised to see the guards like that. He is surprised about how did a goblin manage to slip through the net, and seeing a goblin killed 2 guards, Ifraya thinks that it must be a mutant goblin. This makes Loder mad because his men were killed by a mere mutant goblin. And he is not mad at the goblin, he is mad at his men, who got killed by that goblin. On the other hand, Ifraya seems to be getting excited after hearing about that mutant goblin. She wants to catch it and have a lot of fun with it. Somewhere in the forest, Lin Tian is relieved that he finally managed to survive. Since they hate goblins so much, he gets ready to deal with them in the goblin's way. Goblin has the trait of upgrading through mating and devouring. So while increasing his stats, he gets ready to breed stronger offspring and expand his influence, and get his revenge on Lin Tian and Ifraya. In this new life, he gets ready to make every man's only desire to be death, and make every woman moan and wail under his feet. He then hears some noise coming from the bushes. Thinking that it might be Loder and his team, he charges toward that guy. Finished him quickly so he will not be able to make move. And seeing someone charge toward him, startle that hoodie guy, and seems like it is also a goblin, he stumbles on a stone and falls down. Lin Tian gets shocked to see a goblin there. And what's more, it's a female goblin. Lin Tian is confused to see her, because all his life he only thought that there are only male goblins. That's why they kidnap other races' females. But there is one in front of him. She begs him to not hurt her, and she is just there to fetch water. This surprises Lin Tian even more, because she is speaking very fluently. He checks her stats, and her level is 3, race goblin, class, God's messenger, title female goblin, fallen god, pure soul, God's blessing. HP 10, strength is 2, defense is 1, skills is gene devour, wild growth, her overall combat power is 10. And there is more. If a male goblin mates with a female goblin, then the male goblin will become the legendary goblin god. Here's a new chance for him. Go for it, boy. Lin Tian is surprised to see that mating with her will make him a goblin god. She gets scared seeing him so close to her, so she informs him that she was really sent by the chief to fetch water, and if she doesn't get water, the chief will beat her to death. Lin Tian apologizes for scaring her like that, and comforts her a little, because he doesn't want her to cry too loud, or Loder might find them. And she is also surprised to see that he can also talk fluently. Since he was so kind to her just now, she asks him to come with her back to her tribe, because this was her first time someone actually cared for her. Other goblins just hit and scolds her all the time. Lin Tian gets surprised and excited to hear that there is a tribe there. Since Loder and his team are still following him, he gets ready to make a safe place his priority. He can just mate with her other time. Lin Tian touching her like that is making her blush. She gets ready to take him to her tribe. And Lin Tian is happy because he was worried about where to recruit subordinates. But there seems to be a whole tribe waiting for him to recruit them. They arrived at the tribe's settlement. The goblins are living in tents here, and are not happy to see an outsider there, and he is wearing human clothes. Humans, their mortal enemies. Lin Tian gets ready to start his plan, and asks those weak goblin to let him see their leader. But they don't want any outsider to see their leader. They gets ready to finish him and then take him to their leader. But the female goblin gets ready to stop them from hurting Lin Tian. Because of that commotion, the leader comes there. He looks dangerous and ugly. His level is 25, same as Loder. His class is priest. Title is breeding machine. Sly old fox, God's blessing. Man, he is a machine, huh? And Lin Tian is shocked to see that a goblin with such a high stats. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, then please like the video. Also subscribe to the channel and watch this video here.